So good morning student. Today we will discuss about the detail that is alpha decay. So what is meant by the alpha decay? The process in which a alpha particle is spontaneously ejected from disintegrating nucleus is called a alpha decay. So in the last class we are discussed about the Rutherford experiment. So in that experiment we are taken a lead block. A hole must be drilled. In that hole a radium sample is put. So the radiation coming out from that radium sample, they are subjected in a electric field. Some radiations must be deflected towards the positive plate. They are called as the beta rays. Some rays are deflected towards the negative plate. They are called as the alpha rays. And about the properties of the alpha rays, we are known about that the alpha particle must be having helium nucleus. So in this process, the parent nucleus loses an aggregate of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. ಈ ಒಂದು ಡಿಕೆ ಆದಾಗ, ಯಾವುದು ಡಿಕೆ ಆದಾಗ, ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಡಿಕೆ ಆದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ರೇಡಿಯಂ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರಿ ನೀವು. ಆ ರೇಡಿಯಂನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ 2 ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತು 2 ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಡಿಕೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೊಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಸ್ ನಂಬರು ಎ, ಝೆಡ್ ಏನದಂದ್ರೆ ಅಟೋಮಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಮತ್ತು ಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೊಸ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಬೈ 4 numbers ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಝೆಡ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಬೈ 2 numbers. The plus helium nucleus, then equation must be, it is balanced, where x a z and y a minus 4 z minus 2 are parent and daughter nuclei respectively. So this is about the alpha decay. So what is the range of the alpha particle? The range of alpha particle is defined as the distance through which an alpha particle can ionize a gas through which it passes. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಅಲ್ಫಾ ರೇಸ್ಗಳು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಯೋನೈಸ್ करते करते कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल होता है, that distance is called as the range of alpha particle. So this distance must be experimentally studied by a scientist. His name is Bragg. He shows alpha particles have a definite range. After traveling a distance equal to its range, the alpha particle gets completely ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಯನೈಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಏನಾಗ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದ. ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೆದೇವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ, ಇಟ್ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಸೊ ದ ರೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾನ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆರ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ವಿತ್ ವಿಚ್ they are emitted. That is, range is directly proportional to the velocity of the alpha particles. The nature of radioactive element from which they are emitted. ಯಾವುದು ರೇಡಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ನಿಂದ ಆ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿಚ್ ದೇ ಪಾಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಈ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And the range of the alpha particle must be inversely proportional to the pressure of the gas. That is, R is inversely proportional to the pressure. The range of alpha particle is very small, of the order of 10 raised to, it is minus 3 millimeter for alpha particle, energy of few million electron volt and a few centimeter in gases. It is measured in kg per meter square. So this is the experimental setup for range of alpha particle. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು lead block, you are seeing figure, lead block is there, and so a plate is there P and another plate it is a G. The distance of the plate P from the sample must be, it is capital D, and potential must be, it is applied. So Bragg had produced evidence that alpha particles had a definite range. The apparatus used by Bragg and Kleeman in 1904 is shown in that figure. the alpha particle from source S in a lead block traverses a distance d to the ionization chamber. ಆ ionization chamberನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಗಳಿವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. The ionization chamber consists of a metallic that is gauge G and a plate P parallel to and close to each other and maintained a constant potential difference. Okay, so using that one, or using the range of the alpha particle, a scientist, his name is that is Geiger, he shows a law about the range of the alpha particle. So in 1910, so some measurement of the relative speed of alpha particle from the radium C after they had passed through various thickness of mica of known stopping power relative to air. From these results, Geiger gave a law known as the Geiger law. He proposed an empirical mathematical relationship between the range and velocity of alpha particle. So that is, ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದನಪ್ಪ ಗೀಗರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ, the range of the alpha particle is cube of the velocity of the alpha particle. Okay, this is the Geiger law. Then R is equal to, remove the proportionality symbol, you take a constant A V naught cube. So where R is the range in meter and V is the initial velocity, it is in meter per second. A is constant of proportionality and it is equal to the value 9.6 into 10 raised to minus 24. Now the initial energy E naught, it is in million electron volt of an alpha particle is related to the velocity V naught by the relation E naught is equal to 2.08 into 10 raised to minus 14 V naught square. So the once that is E naught is equal to that much and V naught square is equal to, you got E naught divided by 2.08 into 10 to the power of minus 14. So now rearrange to this one, V naught is equal to under root of E naught divided by 2.08 into 10 raised to minus 14. The relation between the range R and the energy E naught is given by, or put equation 2 in 1. We got R is equal to A into whole bracket, then bracket E naught divided by 2.08 into 10 to the power of minus 14 to the power of 1 by 2 and whole to the power of cube. Rearrange to this one, finally you got simplified 3.18 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into E naught to the power of 3 by, it is 2. So then R is equal to B E naught 3 by to the power of 3 by 2. So where B is 3.18 into 10 raised to power of minus 3 is a constant. Now from equation 1 and 2 are valid only for medium ranges. At low ranges, the range R is proportional to V naught to the power of 3 by 2 and E naught to the power of 3 by 4 at higher ranges. Then R is directly proportional to V naught to the power of 4 and E naught to the power of 2. If RT and RA are the ranges of alpha particles in solid and in air respectively, that is RS and RA. So therefore RS is equal to 0.312 RA A to the power of 1 by 2 divided by J, where J is density of the solid of mass number A. So this is about Geiger law. So now we know about Geiger-Nuttall law. In 1911, Geiger and Nuttall arrived at an interesting conclusion relating the half-life of alpha emitter and range of its alpha particle. They showed that if the logarithmic of the range of air of alpha particle plotted against the corresponding value of logarithmic of the disintegration constant for a number of radio elements, an approximately straight lines is obtained. For each radioactive series, as shown in the next figure, this is known as Geiger-Nuttall law, represented by the relation log to the base E lambda is equal to A log to the base E R plus B, where capital A is a constant which has practically the same value for each of the three radioactive series, and B is a constant which has a different value for each series. So where the law has proved useful in determining the disintegration constant lambda of the same sum of the products of disintegration, which could not be easily determined by direct measurements. It can be used to check up the validity of any theory of alpha particle decay. So this is the graph. So three series are there. You are observed or you are obtained only the straight lines. Okay. So now the Geiger-Nettel law can be derived from the equation 1 in the alternative form by utilizing the relationship between the range and energy of the alpha particle. Thus we have log to the base e lambda is equal to 3 by 2 a log to the base e naught plus b dash, called equation number 2. So v is same value of the equation 1 and b dash is a constant for each radiations. Okay, thank you.